All right, I want to bring you to China and the new job you're taking, heading up this committee. What are you looking to accomplish with that in the new Republican Congress?
Well, the Select Committee on China, which is going to be a signature initiative for Speaker-elect Kevin McCarthy, I think a lot of what we can do is to explain the stakes to the American people, explain why we need to understand who we're dealing with in the form of the Chinese Communist Party, and why we're in the early stages of a new Cold War. And owing to a combination of complacency and corruption, it's not obvious that we are going to win. We need to inject a sense of urgency into our effort. The other thing I would say is that the predecessor to this, the China Task Force, led by Chairman Mike McCall, tried to get Democrats to participate in it. Kevin McCarthy opened that up to Democrats. They refused for partisan purposes. We want this to be a bipartisan effort. We want the Democrats to nominate serious, sober people to participate, because defending America from Chinese Communist Party aggression should not be a partisan thing.
You mentioned that Speaker-elect McCarthy is obviously not there with the votes yet. You're confident he's going to get there?
I am confident. Kevin's doing a remarkable job in terms of reaching out to members who aren't committed to vote for him yet and asking, okay, what are your concerns? Where can we meet in the middle in terms of rules changes? And so I think we will get there. We're going to have a couple weeks here to make sure we continue to advance down that road. But I think the fact that he's choosing to elevate the issue of China and instantiate a select committee on China is something the entire conference can get behind. He's going to prioritize that. He's going to prioritize fiscal responsibility. That's long overdue, and it's one of many reasons why I think he deserves to be Speaker.
You know, there have been select committees on China before. The last public report was back in 1999, U.S. national security, military, commercial concerns with China. And it goes on to say that the appetite of China for information and technology appears to be insatiable. The energy devoted to this task is enormous. Threats to national security can come from PRC scientists, students, business people, or bureaucrats, in addition to professional civilian and military intelligence operations. That's 1999. We are now 23 years later. What has changed? We really have not affected the situation, the ground on which the U.S. and China are competing.
Well, what's changed is the Chinese Communist Party is much more powerful. And Xi Jinping himself, the general secretary of the Xi Jinping, is much more powerful than his predecessors. I mean, look what's happening with TikTok right now. TikTok is on the cusp of becoming the most dominant media company in America, and it is controlled by ByteDance, which is effectively controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. It's as if in 1958 we decided to let Pravda and the KGB buy up the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Chicago Tribune, ABC, and NBC all at once. That actually probably understates the stupidity. No country with even a passing interest in its own security would allow this to happen. So China has blended the realm of the private sector and the military and total state control, and ultimately everything leads back to the control of the Chinese Communist Party.